Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, my friends. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of American coins, and in this episode, we will uncover the secrets behind the 1 cent 1970 Lincoln penny, coin that looks small in size yet carries a massive story of history, rarity, and value. And believe me when I say this, some of these tiny copper treasures can be worth hundreds of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could bring you $442 or even more, depending on condition, market demand, and collectors' hunger. Now let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the very first time that a real person appeared on regular U.S. circulating coinage, and the public absolutely loved it. This coin design was powerful, meaningful, and patriotic, and over the decades it became a symbol of American history, carried in the pockets of millions of people, young and old. Fast forward to 1970, America was going through big changes. The Vietnam War was ongoing. The space race was pushing technology beyond imagination, and coins were still struck with care and tradition. At the Denver Mint, the famous mint mark D was placed below the year to show its origin in Denver, Colorado. That is where our hero coin, the 1970 Lincoln penny, was born. These coins were made primarily from copper with a small balance of zinc and tin, giving them that classic warm reddish glow that makes older pennies so eye-catching. But here is where the story gets interesting. While millions of these coins were minted, only a fraction survived in pristine condition, and coin collectors around the world are always on the lookout for sharp details, crisp lines, and coins that have never been circulated. Imagine pulling a penny out of your change that has been hiding for decades untouched and discovering it's one of these ultra-valuable pieces. The 1970 penny has also become known for certain varieties and errors which make them even more collectible. Some pennies may show slight doubling on the lettering or numbers, others may have striking misalignments, and these tiny imperfections can multiply the value of the coin by many times. In fact, error collectors and Lincoln cent enthusiasts will often pay top dollar for a unique piece. Now let's talk numbers. What is the market value today? While a regular circulated 1970 penny might not sound like much, the rare high-grade examples certified by professional grading companies can fetch incredible prices in the market. A penny graded in mint state, red condition with almost no marks has already crossed values of hundreds of dollars, and currently some have been reported reaching around $442. That's right, a coin you might pass by every day could actually be worth more than a brand new smartphone. Imagine this scenario: you are checking an old jar of coins in your attic, maybe a box passed down from your grandparents, and tucked away inside is a shiny 1970 Lincoln penny with perfect luster, no scratches, and sharp Lincoln details. You decide to have it graded, and boom, the results come back showing your coin is an ultra gem. Now you have a collector knocking at your door offering you hundreds of dollars for that single cent piece. The beauty of the Lincoln penny is not only in its value but in its connection to history. Every time you hold one of these coins, you are holding a piece of America's story, Abraham Lincoln's legacy, the evolution of coin minting, and the memories of a nation that used these tiny copper coins in everyday life for buying candy, newspapers, and even making phone calls from coin booths. Collectors often say that the thrill of finding a rare penny in everyday change is unmatched. It is like a treasure hunt where the prize is not just money but also history and prestige. The 1970 Lincoln penny has cemented its place in that treasure hunt, and people across the world are still searching through their coins every day, hoping to find one of these hidden gems. If you are a beginner coin collector, here is my advice: always check the date and mint mark carefully on every penny you come across. Pay attention to the details, look for errors, doubling, or unusual designs. Store your coins safely away from humidity and fingerprints, and if you believe you have a valuable coin, consider getting it graded by a trusted company like PCGS or NGC, because that official certification can increase your coin's value dramatically. The coin market today is full of surprises. Demand for rare pennies is growing, with online auctions and coin shows giving collectors new opportunities, and as time passes, the number of untouched 1970 Lincoln pennies become smaller, which only pushes the value higher. Scarcity combined with demand creates big money opportunities in the world of numismatics, and the 1970D is living proof of that. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground or mixed in your pocket change, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because that simple coin could be your lucky find worth hundreds of dollars waiting to change your day and maybe even your life. The story of the 1970D Lincoln penny is more than just metal. It is about history, heritage, and hidden treasure. And there you have it, my friends, the 1 cent 1970D Ultra Lincoln penny, a small coin with a big story and a current market value of around $442. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to look through your coin jars and piggy banks, because who knows, your fortune might just be hiding inside a single penny. Do you want me to expand this script even further into a 20-minute YouTube-style narration with more deep history of the Denver Mint, comparisons to other Lincoln pennies, and detailed grading scale breakdowns to make it even longer? Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1976 Lincoln 1 cent penny. At first glance, this small copper coin might look like just an ordinary piece of pocket change, but when you look closely and understand its story, you will discover that it holds secrets of history, mystery, and in some rare cases an incredible amount of value. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer, wallet, or old coin jar that could be worth hundreds of dollars in today's market. That is exactly what we are going to explore together. The year 1976 was not just any year in the United States. It was a special moment, the nation's bicentennial year, celebrating 200 years of American independence. The country was alive with celebrations, fireworks, parades, and patriotic pride. While most attention was given to the quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins that carried special bicentennial designs, the humble 1 cent penny quietly continued with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Many people never stopped to consider that even in a year as historic as 1976, the Lincoln penny would remain unchanged, still carrying the image of Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes the 1976 Lincoln cent fascinating is that it is more than just a penny from a patriotic year. It is a piece of American history struck in copper at a time when coins were still transitioning before major changes came in later decades. The design itself is iconic. On the obverse side you see the timeless bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to mark Lincoln's 100th birthday. The detail of Lincoln's face, his gaze, and the inscription "In God We Trust" remind us of America's heritage. On the left we see liberty, and on the right the date 1976 proudly standing out. If you are lucky you might also find a small mint-mark letter below the date, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, each telling you where the coin was minted. Turning the coin around, the reverse side gives us the Lincoln Memorial in sharp detail, an image created by Frank Gasparro. If you look closely enough with a magnifying glass you can actually see a tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making this one of the most detailed and artistic reverses in American coinage history. The words United States of America arch across the top, E pluribus unum sits above the memorial, and 1 cent is boldly written at the bottom. This is not just a coin, it is a miniature monument to American history and values. Now let us talk about what collectors truly care about: value. In circulation, the 1976 Lincoln penny is very common and can be found in pocket change all over the United States. Billions were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and millions more were struck as proofs in San Francisco. However, within those billions, some extraordinary coins exist. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no wear and perfect luster, known as mint state or proof coins, can fetch much more than just 1 cent. In today's market, depending on grade, a 1976 Lincoln penny can range from just a few cents to hundreds of dollars. For example, Coins that have been preserved in flawless mint state 67 or higher are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Some of these coins have sold in auctions for astonishing amounts, reaching as high as $442. That is an incredible return for something most people ignore as small change. And this is not even including the rare error coins. Yes, error coins from 1976 are some of the most exciting finds. Double die obverse where the date or the letters appear doubled, off-center strikes where the design is misaligned, or coins struck on the wrong planchet are all examples of errors that dramatically increase a coin's value. Imagine finding a penny where the details are doubled or the rim is missing. Collectors pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for such rare mistakes. It is important to understand that condition is everything when it comes to value. A regular 1976 penny that has been in circulation for decades will usually only be worth face value. But if you happen to find one that has been preserved with sharp details, no scratches, and beautiful red luster, you are holding something very valuable. Professional grading services can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a certified market value that serious collectors trust. So why should you care about a penny minted in 1976? Because every coin tells a story. This penny connects us to the bicentennial year, a moment when America celebrated 200 years of independence. It carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, one of the nation's most beloved leaders. It also represents a time when coins were still primarily made of copper, a material that has become more valuable over the years. For coin enthusiasts and history lovers alike, the 1976 penny is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of heritage, craftsmanship, and hidden wealth. Collectors all over the world are constantly searching for these gems, and the market for rare coins continues to grow. As more people learn about the hidden value in their change, demand rises and so do prices. That is why finding a 1976 Lincoln penny in top condition can be like striking gold. Imagine showing your friends that a coin they thought was just a penny is actually worth hundreds of dollars. That kind of discovery creates excitement, amazement, and a deep appreciation for numismatics, the study of coins. So the next time you go through your change, do not overlook that brown penny. Check the date. Look for 1976. Examine it under good light. If it has sharp edges, strong detail, and beautiful original luster, set it aside. It could be worth far more than you think. And if you happen to discover an error variety, you might just be holding a treasure that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own. The world of coins is full of surprises, and the 1976 Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest value. From its historical background during the bicentennial year, to its classic design honoring Abraham Lincoln, to its market value that can reach $442 or more, this is truly a coin worth learning about. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep appreciating the hidden stories in every coin. Who knows, the next penny you find could be worth hundreds of dollars and could change the way you look at pocket change forever. Script END. Would you like me to also write a shorter, catchy intro and outro lines for your video to grab attention quickly before diving into this long script? Today, and in some cases even much more. Imagine turning a penny that was struck decades ago into real treasure worth around $442. Or even higher depending on condition, rarity, and unique characteristics. That is exactly what we are talking about in this video. So let us begin by going back to the origins of this legendary coin. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first time in American coin history that a real person, an actual president, appeared on circulating coinage. The design created by Victor David Brenner became iconic with the bust of Lincoln on the front, known as the obverse, and the classic wheat ears on the reverse. Over the years, The design was updated, and in 1959 the wheat design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial, which is the reverse design you will see on the 1978 penny. Now, the year 1978 might seem pretty ordinary in coinage history, but not so fast. This year's pennies carry their own story. These coins were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, which had no mint mark, Denver, which carries the D mark, and San Francisco, which produced proof coins marked with an S. The material used was copper, a 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy. Each coin weighed 3.11 grams and had a diameter of 19 millimeters. At first glance, every 1978 penny may look the same, but hidden among them are examples that carry extraordinary value today. So, why are some of these coins worth just 1 cent while others can reach hundreds of dollars or more? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and special varieties. Coins graded in mint state, meaning untouched, uncirculated, and free from damage, can command extremely high prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate these coins and assign them grades on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS70 being perfect. A 1978 penny graded at MS67 or higher is rare, and collectors are willing to pay strong premiums for them, but condition is only part of the story. Errors and varieties make the 1978 Lincoln penny especially exciting. Collectors search for double dice, repunch mint marks, off-center strikes, and other unique mistakes that slipped past the minting process. For example, a double die obverse penny where Lincoln's features or the lettering appear doubled is highly desirable. Another variety includes strong repunched mint marks on the 1978 D coins. Off-center strikes where part of the design is missing can also sell for significant money. Every error makes the coin unique, and uniqueness equals value in the numismatic world. Let us talk numbers. While the average circulated 1978 penny might only be worth face value, higher grades can skyrocket in price. A regular 1978 penny from Philadelphia in mint state condition can easily bring in $20, $50, or even $100 depending on the grade. The 1978 D Denver penny, when graded MS67 or higher, has been known to sell for over $200 at auction. The San Francisco proofs with deep cameo designations can sell for even more, with rare perfect examples valued at several $100s. And yes, there are records of ultra-high-grade specimens and rare errors from this year fetching as much as $442 on the market. That is serious money for a coin you could easily pass over in everyday change. Think about it. Millions of pennies were struck in 1978, but only a handful survived in perfect mint condition. Over time, most coins became worn, scratched, and circulated heavily, reducing their collector appeal. The few pristine survivors stand out as treasures today. This is why it pays to look carefully at every penny you come across, because the chances of discovering one of these hidden gems are real. Now, let us also appreciate the historical side of things. 1978 was a year of transition in the United States. The economy faced challenges, inflation was rising, and small coins like the penny were losing buying power. Yet people still used these copper cents in everyday life, not knowing that some would one day be worth far more than their face value. Every time we hold one of these coins, we hold a piece of that history, a reflection of American life in the late 70s. Collectors today cherish the Lincoln Cent series not only for its value but also for its deep symbolism. Abraham Lincoln's image reminds us of leadership, freedom, and the struggles that shaped the nation. The 1978 Lincoln Memorial reverse shows us the monument in Washington, D.C., linking past and present. These coins are more than just metal, they are symbols, artifacts, and investments all rolled into one. So, what should you do if you find a 1978 penny in your pocket or collection? First, check the mint mark and look closely for errors like doubling, misaligned strikes, or unusual features. Next, examine the condition. If it looks uncirculated with full original luster, it may be worth sending to a professional grading service. Even if it is not a rare error, high-grade 1978 pennies have strong demand among collectors. Remember, a small investment in grading can lead to a big return if the coin comes back with a top grade. And here's another tip. Always hold on to copper pennies minted before 1982 because they are composed of 95% copper. With the rising value of copper as a metal, these older pennies already carry intrinsic value beyond their face worth. This makes coins like the 1978 Lincoln cent not just collectible but also a hedge against inflation and a solid long-term asset. As we wrap up, think about how incredible it is that something as small and overlooked as a 1-cent coin could hold such history, beauty, and potential wealth. The 1978 Ultra Lincoln pennies stand as proof that treasures are hiding in plain sight. Whether you are a serious numismatist, a casual coin hunter, or just someone curious about history, these coins deserve your attention. The market continues to reward rarity and quality, and as collectors grow more interested, values could rise even further. So the next time you see a penny dated 1978, do not dismiss it. Hold it, examine it, and imagine the journey it has taken. Who knows, that simple coin could be your gateway to hundreds of dollars or more. Thank you for joining me today on this deep dive into the fascinating story of the 1978 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow collectors and friends who might also be amazed at the hidden wealth inside everyday change. Stay tuned because in future videos we will explore even more incredible coins that are worth much more than you think. Until next time, happy coin hunting and may fortune smile upon your next discovery. Do you want me to also create a short punchy intro hook for this script, so your viewers get instantly hooked before you dive into the long story? Today we are diving deep into the story, the value, and the amazing history of one of the most intriguing coins in modern American coinage. We are talking about the 1-cent 1981 Ultra Lincoln penny from the United States of America, a coin that might look ordinary to most people but in reality it has incredible importance, and in some cases can be worth a lot of money. Believe it or not, certain varieties and rare pieces from this year have been selling for values as high as $442 in the collector's market, and some even higher under special conditions. So stay with me till the end because this video will not only tell you about the background of this coin but also how to recognize valuable examples, the errors to look out for, and the secrets that make the 1981 Lincoln penny such a big deal. Let us start with the history. The Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909 when it was first released to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first United States coin to feature a real historical figure, breaking away from the old tradition of symbolic images. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the bust of President Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God We Trust" above, Liberty on the left side, and the date on the right. Over time, the coin became one of the most recognized and beloved coins in American history. Fast forward to 1981, a very important year for Lincoln pennies. Why is this year so special? Because it marked the end of an era. For decades, Lincoln pennies had been struck primarily in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc or tin. But due to rising metal costs, the United States Mint decided to change the composition the very next year, in 1982, switching from copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet. That means that the 1981 Lincoln cent was among the last full copper pennies ever made for circulation, making it historically significant. Collectors prize these coins because they represent the final chapter of the traditional copper era. Now let us talk about the details. The 1981 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers across several U.S. mints. You will find the Philadelphia issue with no mint mark, the Denver issue with a small D mint mark under the date, and the San Francisco Mint, which struck proof coins marked with an S. In total, billions were made. Because of such high numbers, most people assume these coins are common and worthless. But here is the secret that collectors know. Not every coin is the same. Some were struck with sharp details, others were proof examples with mirror-like finishes, and some contain special die varieties and striking errors that make them incredibly rare and valuable today. For example, coins struck at San Francisco as proofs in 1981 exist in both Type 1 and Type 2 varieties. The Type 1 features a blob-like S mint mark, while the Type 2 has a clear and sharp S. The Type 2 is scarcer and highly desirable, with examples in pristine proof condition selling for hundreds of dollars. This is one of the keys to the $442 market value you hear about. Collectors who are willing to pay that price are chasing after beautifully preserved coins that have perfect mint luster, no scratches, and the sharp Type 2 mint mark, but that is not all. Even the regular business strike coins from Philadelphia and Denver can bring in surprising value when found in top grades. A coin that looks ordinary in circulation might be worth only 1 cent, but if you find an example with blazing red original copper color, nowhere, and strong eye appeal graded MS67 or higher by professional services, it can easily bring in hundreds of dollars at auction. This is why checking your coins carefully is so important. A penny sitting in a jar for decades might actually hold a hidden treasure. Another exciting area is errors and varieties. Some 1981 Lincoln cents were struck with double dice where the lettering or the date shows doubling under magnification. Others show off center strikes, broad strikes, or clipped planchets. Error collectors love these unique mistakes because no two are exactly alike. Depending on the type and severity of the error, values can range from a few dollars up to several hundred. Imagine finding such a coin in your change and realizing it is worth far more than face value. So how can you spot one of these valuable examples? First step is to separate all your 1981 pennies. Check if the coin has a Denver D mint mark, a Philadelphia no mint mark, or the San Francisco S. If it is an S, take a close look at the mint mark. If the S is clear and sharp, you may have the Type 2 variety, which can be very valuable especially in proof condition. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Coins with bright red luster and no visible scratches are much more desirable than dark brown circulated ones. Finally, use a magnifier to check for doubling or other mint errors. Collectors today are paying big premiums for top quality 1981 pennies because they know these coins are a last link to the copper era. Market values have been climbing as more people become interested in numismatics. At recent auctions, certified proof examples with Type 2 mint marks have been hammering down at prices around $442. Even gem mint state circulation strikes can bring a few $100s depending on grade and demand. So why is it important for you? Because right now you might be sitting on a small fortune without realizing it. That jar of pennies in your drawer, that old roll of cents passed down from a family member, or even the change you get at the store could contain a coin that is not just worth 1 cent but hundreds of dollars. This is the thrill of coin collecting, the excitement of discovering value hidden in plain sight. To wrap up, the 1981 Lincoln penny is not just another coin. It is a piece of history marking the end of the copper cent era, a collectible with varieties and errors that make it extremely desirable, and a potential treasure that could turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary one. From proof Type 2s at San Francisco to gem red circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver, this little coin carries stories of America's past and promises of surprising wealth. So keep your eyes open, check your coins carefully, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the 1981 Ultra Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Who knows, Maybe the next great discovery will be yours. Do you want me to make a shorter punchy version of this script too? Designed to grab attention in the first 20 seconds for YouTube viewers with shorter attention spans.